Hey everybody, I know I'm supposed to be working still with my silicone baby, and that will come, but I had a mishap in regards to my mold. One, I didn't have it sealed good enough, and hopefully this will teach those who are following. Yeah, make sure your mold is pretty tight and well organized. When I went to go do the second half of the mold, an expensive mistake. Everything was just dripping all down. Needless to say, I got a little discouraged. Did get the mold finished, however, now I'm struggling to open it. So when I get back to it, because again, it was a little discouraging. I wanted to sit. I didn't want to mess with it until I'm mentally ready to for the challenge again. So I'm going to hold off on doing it, and trying to open it back up, because I lost my seam. Everything just, it was chaotic, needless to say. But when I get it open finally, because my husband and we came up with a way, but it's going to take a double effort. And we just said we'll wait a little bit. I told him I'll let him know when. But in the meantime, the artist in me still wants to play and do stuff, so I decided to go back to something else that I tried that I kind of stalled on because of discouragement. You might have seen on YouTube my process of attempting to make a ball jointed doll with Paperclay. Where is it? Let's see. Was having fun, got discouraged, but said I would try again. This was the head I came up with. I finally painted it. It's actually been used as just something I dibble and dabbled with. That was the head. Yeah, I want to paint it, and for the most part, this is what I had came up with. The body is somewhere I didn't finish. Got discouraged. Again, in your quest in learning different techniques and things, you have to understand and realize it is not a cheap thing at all. It's going to be expensive, and you need to be ready for that. You also need to have patience. Understand sometimes you're going to walk away from something only to come back again. Maybe 6 months ago I tried to come back again, and I started with this. Of course, it doesn't look right at all, does it? I scrapped it. So realize you're going to make mistakes. Understand you're going to make mistakes. Goal is try not to give up. Sometimes it takes me months or even a year or a couple of years before I go back to something, but eventually I do. So that's what I've been doing for the last 2 days. I've attempted again. Now, I don't know if you can see that. This is what I'm currently working on. And her head shape is pretty well done. It's gonna look muddy because I haven't sanded yet, but I'm kind of happy with her face so far. It's looking symmetrically correct, but I'll know more once I sand, because it's got a lot of bumps. But this time I stopped. I said before I do any sanding whatsoever, I was going to start putting all the parts together. Now I didn't get to the hands and feet yet, but let's see. I've been using as a guide to help me this, just as far as anatomy. And for my doll, I do highly recommend, if anybody don't have this, get this. It will help. The Yoshida style. It is written in Japanese, but if you look online, let me see. There is a place online that you can get it in English. Check out Cafe Latte. She has a link that you can get the English version. But do get the original. Don't steal. Go ahead and pay for it. You wouldn't want nobody stealing from you. Here's what I'm working from, and pretty much just like everybody else has been saying, you want to try to make sure you keep your proportions in line with what you're working from, and this is what I'm working from. So I've tackled again. I have my body. That's where I'm at right now. It's rough, people, but I'm letting it harden so I can go ahead and get my first sanding done. It usually takes about a day. If you're in a hot environment that's not humid, you might luck up and it might be, you know, a little quicker depending on how thick it is. And as you can see, I've kind of made mine thick. Now I did something different. Everybody for the most part would use styrofoam inside. What I did was I took my monster clay, made the shape of the inside the way I want, you know, and I made that for what I cast over. I covered it with cellophane though, so that or saran wrap, so that it wouldn't stick to the paper. So once I cut it open, hopefully it'll open right up. I'll be good to go. I'll let you know when it's that time, but it's not that time yet. So that's where I'm at. Here are my legs. Yeah, they look short because actually, give me a second. These are still in the drying process. These are going to be part of the joints that will go on top of here. So you see, once I put that on, that kind of makes the leg a longer. But I'll be adding that to it once I'm ready. Let's see. Here are my arms. And again, it's rough. I got a lot of sanding to do and some shaping and probably adding more paper clay. And paper clay is not the easiest of mediums to work with, but it's also could be fun. If you liked paper mache, that's what you can consider this. What do I use? I tried a couple. When I made this one, I used a different brand, but this time around I'm going with Premier. If you use Ladal, this is good to mix with Ladal. So it's a lightweight stone clay, air dry, but I do have a tip. If you're impatient like I am, you can heat paper clay. I do it at only 5-minute intervals, in and out, at about 265 degrees. Now, because I've used monster clay for my casting, I couldn't keep it in too long anyway, because it actually would melt the monster clay. And thank goodness I was smart enough to use the saran wrap, because otherwise it would have been all over. But because I had the saran wrap, it was wrapped up nice and tight, nothing spilled, no loss, no mess, no fuss. So it did help me with that. I didn't keep it in too long, just to start. I just wanted to kind of rush the drying process. I want it really good when I go to sand, and I just did this today, so I won't be touching it today in regards to sanding. Still needs to dry good. You need to let it dry. I'm still going to let it dry 24 hours, but because I knew I was going to go ahead and put my head in there and try to sand my head today, because I did the head yesterday, I said, well, I might as well put everybody in, all the parts in. So that's where I'm at right now. Again, I get like that, where I get bored with one thing, start up something else. And then until I go back, and when I do get back to my silicone baby, because that I'm not scrapping, I want to see it through. I think I did show y'all the head in the last one. I do have my baby's head ready, and it came out good. So I'm going to finish the body, and once I get that done, I'll update you on that as well. So for now, that'll be it. Have a wonderful day. Pay my junkie room no mind. This is my mess, my fun. So pay it no mind, but have a blessed day. Talk to you later. Peace.